Bartimaeus had lived his life in darkness, sitting by the roadside outside Jericho. Blind from birth, or perhaps having lost his sight over time, he had become accustomed to a life of begging. Every morning, he would find his familiar spot along the dusty road, stretching out his hands and listening to the sounds of footsteps, hoping for the clink of a coin or the whisper of kindness from a passing traveler. But most people ignored him. Some threw coins without looking at him. Others scolded him for being in the way. He had no place in society, no family, no work, no dignity. Yet, Bartimaeus had something that many others did not: faith. Though he had never seen Jesus, he had heard of him. Travelers spoke of the man from Nazareth who healed the sick, fed thousands with mere loaves and fish, and even gave sight to the blind. Hope flickered in Bartimaeus' heart every time he heard these stories. What if Jesus came this way? What if he had the chance to call out to him? Would Jesus stop for a beggar like him? One day, as Bartimaeus sat in his usual spot, he noticed an unusual noise. A crowd was approaching, their voices filled with excitement. He leaned forward, listening intently. Then he heard the name that made his heart leap: Jesus. Jesus was passing by. This was the moment he had been waiting for. Bartimaeus took a deep breath and shouted as loudly as he could, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." The people around him were irritated. "Be quiet," they scolded him. "You're disturbing the crowd." Others muttered, "Who does he think he is? Jesus doesn't have time for a beggar like him." But Bartimaeus refused to be silent. He had spent his life in darkness. He had nothing left to lose. He cried out even louder, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Then something incredible happened. Jesus stopped. Amidst the noise, the shouts, and the movement of the crowd, he had heard Bartimaeus cry. He turned to his disciples and said, "Call him." The same people who had just told Bartimaeus to be quiet now changed their tone. "Take heart. Get up, he is calling you." Bartimaeus didn't hesitate. He threw off his cloak, his only possession, the thin fabric that protected him from the cold nights, and stumbled to his feet. Though he couldn't see where he was going, he moved toward Jesus, guided by the voice of hope. As he stood before Jesus, he felt the weight of years of darkness pressing on him. Then, Jesus spoke directly to him. "What do you want me to do for you?" Bartimaeus' answer was immediate. "Rabbi, I want to see." There was no hesitation in his voice, no doubt in his heart. He believed that Jesus could heal him. Jesus smiled, seeing the depth of faith in this blind man's heart. "Go," he said, "your faith has healed you." At that moment, something extraordinary happened. A warmth spread through Bartimaeus' body, and suddenly, his eyes were flooded with light. He blinked rapidly, his vision adjusting for the first time in his life. He saw colors, shapes, faces, the blue of the sky, the golden dust on the road, the astonished expressions of the people around him. And then he saw Jesus. Tears welled up in Bartimaeus' newly opened eyes. He had not only received his sight, he had encountered the Savior. Most people, after experiencing such a miracle, would have run home, eager to tell their families or see the world they had missed. But Bartimaeus did something different. He followed Jesus. He didn't just walk away with his eyesight. He walked into a new life. He became a follower of the one who had not only restored his vision but had changed his heart forever. Bartimaeus' story is one of unwavering faith, persistence, and transformation. Even when the world tried to silence him, he refused to give up. He believed that Jesus was his only hope, and he was right. Jesus, in his love and mercy, stopped for him, called him, and changed his life. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. No matter how hopeless our situation seems, no matter how many people try to silence our cries for help, Jesus hears us. He stops for us. He calls us by name. And when we respond with faith, he brings healing, restoration, and a new purpose. Bartimaeus was once a forgotten beggar by the roadside, but because of his faith, he became a living testimony of God's power. And today, his story continues to remind us that when we call on Jesus, he always listens and he always responds.